All right, where to start? What a crazy day. And the title on Zero Hedge: Regional Bank Crisis Spreads to Big Banks as USB tumbles, stocks dump amid widespread liquidations. Uh, Update 10:50 a.m. We doubt this will help. Western Alliance says report of deal talks absolutely false. Western Alliance denied, blah, blah, blah. They're not getting bailed out, basically. 10:30, it's just getting worse. PacWest shares halted after extending route to 52% down. 52% down. PacWest halted at 52% down. Okay, the entire banking index down 5.5%. Western Alliance resumed, slumps down to 45%, halted again down. So there's several banks just getting decimated. These are American banks. No, this is not clickbait. This is extreme. And why it is so extreme is because this is three separate three separate black swans hitting all at once, because you simultaneously have this massively spreading banking crisis contagion within the American banking system itself collapsing. You have the American government funding debt ceiling crisis also happening, where the government can't even afford extending its own debt and paying its own interest on its own bonds, and yet alone paying its own citizens and workforce, yet taking on and bailing out all of these failing banks simultaneously at the exact same time for the first time in 200 years, or 100 years, I guess, since Bretton Woods. You have the petrodollar completely being challenged, completely falling, and like literally 50% of the world depegging from the dollar, and it is accelerating. And this is just, it's three mega catastrophes into the artificial, collateralized, debt-ridden slavery banking system of the West, and how they have collapsed itself upon itself by yeah, you should probably be taking your money out where you can, especially if you're in America. And this all started about a month ago when they did the first collapse on the SVB, the Silicon Valley Bank, collapsing it. And then it's just continued since. And those three, just the three banks that have collapsed so far up until this point, before all of this. So where's the article from before this that was just like, okay, it's absolutely effed? And so yeah, First Horizon shares crash. So what started it today was Canadian bank TD Bank terminated the First Horizon buyout merger that they were doing, and First Horizon Corp shares plunged 30%, 7% at the cash open in New York, most significant decline since September 2008. There you go. And it was down 52% in pre-open and extended losses throughout the day before being paused and halted. And that is First Horizon, and then it getting now being taken out, and that this is the second largest banking crisis in a year ever. Okay, so this was like Lehman Bros and then all the little ones that extended up. This is just the first three that have officially collapsed. And now you have like another 8 banks today that are all down 50%, and basically means they're all about to collapse as well. So you're going to have a whole bunch of these giant bubbles piling up on top of each other, so that by like the end of this week, the chart's going to be up here. And we're only in the 4th month or 5th month of this year now, going in, just starting. So you can only imagine that now that we're getting these big bubbles, and they're, these lots of big ones that, they haven't even started counting the little tiny insignificant ones. No, these are just big guys starting to go, and we still have 2/3 of the year to go. So that's why you're saying shit's gonna get fucked up really quick here, and that this hyperinflationary period could possibly have just begun if they do not make contagion of this very well. If I had any money myself to pull out of the banks, I definitely would be at this point, because you've now had 5 American banks fail, and you can't pull your money out, sort of deal, or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure, but it's only going to get exponentially worse. You have the U.S. government being able to not even pay its own bonds and debts, yet alone cover all of these bailouts of this entire system. If you were to hedge your money, taking it out of the banks, thus what is currently causing the problem. And this is the crazy thing. Jerome Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, last night came out of his meeting saying the banking crisis is contained. There's no more. Don't worry about it. And literally by the next morning, you have several other banks fail. Okay, so the guy is either absolutely fucking retarded and incompetent and should be fired immediately, or investigated for treason, or is just, lying to the people, right? And that they're pulling their money out, trying to contain it for as long as they can. And shout out, happy birthday to Loki Lorax. What a day this could end up being, because this is a black, what is it, Thursday? Yes, Thursday, May 4th. This is Black May 4th, the day that really could be the start of the complete collapse of the American Western hegemony banking system. This is actually kind of scary, pretty effed up, and who knows? But if you had your money invested in Silicon Valley Bank, you could have lost it. And it's happening to now 5 of these banks. Don't sue me, don't get me wrong. Let me pull up the names again. So First Horizon, and here's the thing, is that it was TD Bank deal terminated, where it was supposed to merge and take over First Horizon Corp, which was supposed to give TD Toronto Dominion, this Canadian mega bank, I believe Canada's second biggest bank, a huge share into the American Midwest, but instead they bailed on it. Some government refused to approve it, and the catastrophe contagion now has multiplied, and it's just gonna go nuts from here. Down several different banks today, all down 50%, and market halted. That is absolutely effed. And once again, there is the comparison of just those first 3 banks, and I believe I actually think that it's 2 or 3 more banks have already essentially failed today that will take those bubbles all up. I could be wrong. I could be misreading this because I am tired and I should have gone to bed, but instead I went live bringing this to you all. Just so you would hear it here first. I don't know. It's up to you. I think BTC, XRP, solid gold, solid silver, gasoline, and a generator, solar panels, a motor home, and a nice home, whatever you can do. Grow your own food, and when I wake up today, I will then be hopefully doing a stream with good old Jeremiah joined the technician. Shout out Exotic Propulsion in the chat there. And I will also, in that Real Science episode, be planting some of the seeds for the electroculture experiments and getting those going today. And on that note, welcome, fellow Calgarian Thunderbird Science Deanna. Good to have you. And do we have everybody with the blue wrench? And like I said, you'd probably want to pull out a good 50% or 30% minimum to be safe and put it into some precious metals and some Bitcoin that you can hold on to, own to, and if it collapses, well, you hold it so you truly own it, and it's not being bailed in or bailed out or stolen by the rich, to pay for their gambling mishabits and their false policy mistakes. So in that warning, I bid you all adieu. I love you, and we will see you on the next one later today. Or, oh dear, I should have had it over here with the cat. Meow. Or was it this one? I forget. Yes, catastrophism. That's what it was. Oh my God, the banks are actually blowing up. I really do think that this could be it, people, just because of that combined aspect of the U.S. government funding debt ceiling limit, their inability with the raised interest rates to even service their own bond debts and pay their own employees, yet alone cover these new growing banking implosions, American banking implosions that have been set forth upon them by their own idiotic macro foreign policy decisions. And that, this could be the beginning of it, because on top of on top of both of those, you still also have, since they put the sanctions on Russia, and then Russia now trading with the rest of the BRICS nations growing, China taking a major peace role in the Middle East, solving the Saudi-Iranian disputes, bringing an end to the war in Yemen. Not really covered too much in the Western media, but this has all happened thanks to China, and that things are quickly changing in the world. And a lot of the world is no longer using the US dollar as their reserve currency. And that if you don't understand the whole macroeconomics of it, the whole point of the US dollar being the reserve currency is that every other country had to exchange their currencies, their local country currency, into the US dollar and then into the other country's currency. And all contracts had to be signed in US dollars. And thus the US always made a percentage off of being that middleman and taxation and debt center. And now that is no longer the case, well, they're also imploding. And that is why Saudi Arabia is now no longer afraid of the US. They've ended the war to the south of them. They've now got allies with Iran and Russia and China all around them. They have signed their oil deals in the petro-yuan dollar. Now every other country can trade Chinese yuan dollars in exchange for Saudi oil. That is just that's world shattering, okay? And to fully understand it, it's just this could be it. And I think you're gonna see a lot more of these, a lot more 50% to 52% majority bank down days where they have to halt it, and it's 2 hours still before noon, and they've had to halt it multiple times. That's just the crazy days that we live in. I love you all. Once again, Shout out to WPG Enlightened for Truth Jailed, and to Jeremiah joined the technicians. We will be hopefully doing an episode tonight or tomorrow, Real Science, as well as Loki Lorax. Happy birthday today. Bless you all. And I'm going to keep on rambling. No, I'm not going to try to get it right at 22:22. Instead, we're going to play that epic outro all over again. It's all fucked. Let's play MK Canada instead. Shout out, Zertis.
Canada is a country. Waves of people came to this country, were welcomed by the folks who lived here for millennia, the First Nation. And built this society with waves of people fleeing religious persecution, fleeing tyranny, fleeing to try and build a better life for themselves here than they had back home. Whether it's folks fleeing from world wars or fleeing from civil wars, these people always want the same thing: to be able to live in peace, to raise their families, create a better future for themselves and their communities. And that is what generations created, this extraordinary diverse society we have. Now, Canada remains one of the only countries in the world where citizens are, by and large, positively inclined. And one of the reasons we are that way is because Canadians have confidence in our country.